If you've ever flown before, you very likely experienced turbulence. Some people don't mind it, some people are absolutely terrified of it. Either way, it is pretty annoying. So how do you reduce its effects? Well, let's talk about it. Hey everyone, it's Troy from Floaterly.com, and today we are talking about turbulence. And like I always say, if you want to solve a problem, you have to understand the problem. And today's problem is turbulence. So what is turbulence? Turbulence, in this sense, is a rapid, unsteady movement of air. This could be things like sudden change in wind speed, the jet stream, a rise in hot air, or maybe even thunderstorms. Essentially, it means you're hitting a rough patch. Have you ever been running or something and it's pretty windy, and then there's a gust of wind all of a sudden that hits you and it feels like heavy, not like regular wind, almost as if it has some texture to it? That's what's happening to the planes, but on a much larger scale and way up in the air. And like I said in the intro, if you've flown before, you've undoubtedly experienced it. It's just so common, and planes handle it every single day, so there's nothing to be afraid of. Actually, it's one of the many tests that a plane undergoes before it makes its debut. It's really interesting stuff. A plane's wings are remarkably flexible. In some controlled cases, they've even bent those bad boys to like 90 degrees, without them snapping. Among going through other tests, such as emulating a bird hitting the engine, lightning strikes, and hot and cold weather functionality testing, these planes go through practically a boot camp, and so a little turbulence isn't going to do anything to the plane. And then of course you've got the pilots. Pilots fly for a living. It's what they do. They are professionals, and a little turbulence is something they see literally day in and day out. So take solace in knowing that you're in good hands, because they definitely have a lot of experience with turbulence and navigating it. Now, after all that, if you still really hate the feeling of turbulence and you probably aren't ever going to get over it, let's talk about how to reduce the physical effects that it has on you. How to make it not feel as rough when you're actually flying through the turbulence. Well, first off, if you start feeling turbulence, take your arms off the armrests and take your feet off the ground. You want to limit the amount of contact you have with the plane. A lot of people immediately react to the turbulence by having like a death grip on the armrest, when in reality that makes it worse. A similar example would be if you were sitting at a desk that had a bottle of water on it. If you're bouncing your leg while touching the desk with your hand or an elbow or forearm, you'll notice that the water starts to rumble as well. However, if you were not to touch the desk but still bouncing your leg, the rumble in the water is greatly decreased, if not gone altogether. Same thing applies to a much larger scale when it comes to planes and turbulence. The more of you attached to the plane, the more of those vibrations can be sent onto you. So just cross your arms, hover your feet off the ground if you want to limit the effects that turbulence has on your body, and you'll be good to go. So yeah, that's all I really got for you. If you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate it if you went down, subscribed, and hit that bell icon for notifications whenever I upload, as well as leaving a like and sharing this video with friends, especially friends who don't handle turbulence very well. And with all that being said, thank you guys for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next one.